I wanted to understand a little bit more about the need to intervene early on with kids who have maybe a developmental problem, and I got the sense that if you wait too long, it may be uncorrectable, or it may have been developed to a point where it can't be addressed as well as earlier. So I wanted to understand more about that, please.
Thank you.
So it depends. So we have this sensitive period where the brain is relying on normal visual stimulation to develop, and the connections and the neurocortex. These times, this sensitive period probably extends till maybe 7 or 8 years of life, although there's some variability, and we're learning more about brain plasticity and probably expanding that period a little beyond of what we used to think was more rigid taught. But there's an early sensitive period, maybe the first 4 months of life, where severe visual deprivation can really not be reversed. And then there's a second, a more late sensitive period up to the age of 7, maybe 10, where milder problems can still be treated and corrected. However, the more time it passes, the more difficult it is to treat them. The brain gets set up in its ways, and reversing that, it gets harder, but also treatment is hard. If you wait until a child has severe vision loss in one eye, getting them to not rely on the other eye and start stimulating and develop those brain connections gets incredibly difficult. And even if we can do it, compliance with the treatments, it's a lot harder. So it's twofold. One is the neuroanatomical basis of the problem, and then the other one is getting the children and their families to comply with care. But depending on the vision problem that we're talking about, sometimes it's just mild, a refractive problem that you can correct with glasses. Sometimes it's a more severe developmental structural problem of the eyes. They are windows of opportunity that if they close, they will close forever. And there's plenty of studies, and we do know that if there's vision screening by the age of 3 to 4, by the age of 8, we have reduced the number of children with visual problems by 50% just by screening. So this is all evidence-based. We know that screening is effective, and we know early screening is effective, and we know that treatment is effective if it's done in a timely manner. But you take the next question, because before I forget, talking about assumptions and connections, when we were doing the early studies on See Well to Learn to see how to best implement these programs, we soon realized that we could not bring the bus on Mondays or Fridays to schools because absenteeism was incredibly high those days. So if you think that you can bring the screening and you can bring the eye doctor, but if the kids are not in school, you still can't provide the service. So working on those things is important, and this communication is so important, and looking into things. But we were surprised that we knew that the bus had to come on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or otherwise it would be an incredibly waste of time and money, because the children that need to be follow up and receive their follow-up care were just not there.